It's Diversity TV, bringing you the Untold Stories for the week of September 3rd, 2021, from the fantastic city of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Hosted by myself, Rayyah Sempala. Sponsored by Rayyah Plumbing and Heating. Here are the headlines for this week. Masks are back in indoor spaces in Edmonton. Former Edmonton School Principal shares some ideas on the video game battle between parents and kids as school reopens on September 2nd. From a nanny to a successful immigrant in Canada, Angie shares her immigrant journey with Moji on the Immigrant Experience Show. It's a push and a climb that I enjoy. Shawn shares the entrepreneurial journey since receiving the BESP financing and mentorship. Award-winning realtor Conrad shares his real estate updates for the month. Now the news in detail. Segment 1. Schools resume on September 2nd in Alberta. Parents continue the battle with kids on playing video games. China is limiting the number of hours of kids watching videos. Former Edmonton School Principal Russ Smith shares with our host Rayyah some ideas on video games and more on what parents should watch out for during this new school year.
Thank you for joining us today. Hi, my name is Rayyah and I'm the host of Diversity Community Newscast. We're now following a story from Hong Kong, Beijing, China, that has barred online gamers under the age of 18 from playing on weekdays and limited their play to just 3 hours most weekends, making a significant escalation of restrictions on the country's massive gaming industry. Starting this week, minors will be allowed only an hour of playtime between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. on Friday, weekends and public holidays, according to the statement from Chinese media watchdog. Now, some parents are calling it spiritual opium. Many parents said that teenagers' addiction to online games seriously affected their studies and physical and mental health as well, leading to a series of social problems and making some parents even suffer. In recent years, Chinese government has implemented registration system which required people who played computer games to do so under their social names, allowing companies to check on them. Now, during the lockdown, video games became the only source of communication for these young people. However, these complaints are universal, and parents, even in our local communities, have raised their concern. We invited former principal and educational consultant, Rosalind Smith, to share her thoughts and give us some recommendation on the subject. Rosalind, can you share some light on this nanny state approach that has been implemented in China? How can people in our community, deal with this online addiction?
Thank you very much. Well, we won't be going the way that China has gone in terms of imposing strict regulations against video games and looking at addictions. But we must know that what we ask of our children is to have balance in their life. And as you mentioned, because of COVID, that balance was just thrown totally out of whack. I'm really encouraging parents, particularly now as we start the school year, to ensure that their students get lots of stimulation through exercise. I really want to see students adjust their schedules and their activities during the day to include some time for video gaming, because I know it helps students in terms of their own psychological development to be open and understanding what's happening in the video game world. But also I want them to have the stimulation of even looking at world affairs, some hobbies that they can develop. I know that many students are enjoying playing with their computers and playing digital games. So it's a good transition into digital photography. I think students can also learn how to study really effectively on their computers. So instead of gaming, they may look at how to improve their study skills. And most importantly, I really encourage parents to play with their children so they know what their children are playing and what types of games they're viewing. Many times we find that students are waking up in the middle of the night and playing video games. I encourage all parents to take away the game controllers, the computer, the cell phone, put them in a little box, a plastic bin, and put them beside the parents' bed at night so the children can't get at the games. And that way they'll have a better balance and wake up a little more energized. You have to remember that we are going into a very, very digital world where technology, particularly gaming, is going to lead into some different employment that will happen in the next few years. If you were to read a book like What Color is My Parachute, you will see the transitions that are coming forward in terms of what we're learning about science, medical issues, and certainly our whole natural environment, what we're learning through the effect of playing video games. So we can't discount that as a form of learning. However, we also know that learning comes from establishing that relationship between parents and students, and also for students to develop relationships with other adults, particularly as we're coming out of COVID. Don't allow your child to be antisocial. Really encourage your child to be out there, to meet new people, to discover maybe even new games, but even more different ways of developing new hobbies. There's lots of things that are happening at the public library to engage students in a very stimulating manner and take away the downtime from give them more opportunities to have that balance that I speak about. I also would encourage parents, if they feel their children are suffering from depression or just having some anxiety around not playing video games, to contact a mental health therapist. Start by calling 311 and getting some information of where you could go within our city to access that support around video gaming. That would be my most important points for parents.
And those are great points. And I think this is the way to go. All the tips, all the parents can use them. Now, there might be a little bit of a fight between the parents and the children saying, oh, mom, I want to play some video games. So in your recommendation, how many hours would you recommend they do? I mean, the tips you gave are excellent, but to get through addiction, sometimes you have to phase it off slowly. So in your recommendation, how many hours a week, or what would you recommend the solution? Because you can't just tell them stop playing video games and do this. What would you recommend?
I would encourage parents, it's going to be different for every stage of development for a child, but I would encourage parents to actually know how many hours their child is playing at the moment, and then start by trying to cut that down into at least half of the time, but also be there to help your child transition into the next activity, be it a sporting activity, a reading activity, belonging to a community group, or even doing some volunteering. And once we've reached that half point, make sure that you're going to give them an opportunity to still play the games, but under your supervision. My biggest concern is the fact that many parents have no idea what their children are playing in terms of a video game. And it's okay to take away the phone or the controls for the video games or any kind of games, because you're paying for it as a parent. So you exercise your right as a parent to take away those gadgets, and be strong when you say no to your child. It's not going to be the end of the world. It's going to help them develop some new activities, but sometimes children don't know what they don't know. So I would encourage parents to think about things in that way.
Oh, that's wonderful. Some great, great tips. I think this is something that parents really need to hear, because now that school is starting, they're going to start having a new routine. They were used to just being relaxed and not having responsibilities. School has begun and there has to be a balance. So thank you so much for sharing and giving us some tips on how parents can, on a go forward, deal with this online addiction, because it's something that they need to focus on, especially with school starting. And like you said, we're not going to go the route that, of course, China took. That works for them or may not work for them. But for us here in our community, just be there for your children. And please listen to the tips that our former principal, Rosalind Smith, gave us, because they all add value. So again, thank you so much for always being here for us when we need some wisdom on our educational system. I'm sure we'll talk to you again.
Yeah, you're so welcome, and off to a good school year. Thank you.
Oh, of course. Yes, I like that. So parents, children, students, have a great year and have that balance, and take the tips that we shared to heart, because they're all valid. Once again, Harriet Tinker from Diversity Community Newscast. We'll see you again soon. Bye for now.
Segment 2. Finally, meet Stephanie Mbobda, who inspired her dad, Dr. Emmanuel Mbobda, to invest his pharmacological expertise to produce acne for darker skin types. It's a pleasure to finally meet the 17-year-old. Hear from Stephanie herself during our diversity community engagement in Calgary, and how the products have helped clear her acne and keep it under control after many failed attempts with other products.
Having breakouts of acne, and my acne got really bad. That was age 14. And since then, I tried multiple products. Went to the store, I bought cleansing lotions, I bought toners, I did like a whole regime for myself and tried multiple products. Nothing worked. It actually made my acne worse, it made my skin sensitive and so what. So then I asked my dad to make a skincare regime so that I can try out as last hopes for me to fix my acne. And he came up with these 4 products. So he came up with, first let's start with a cleanser, a cleansing lotion. So this is the first thing that I use every morning and every time I go to bed. I wash my face with this, 30 seconds. I just put it on my face, massage it, wash it with water. And then I dry my face out. It leaves the face refreshed and ready for the other products that I'm going to be talking about. So secondly, we start with the toner. So the toner here, it helps to balance pH levels, and it also prepares for other products, and also gives a deep cleaning of the face. So usually you will spray this on a cotton pad and kind of clean the face with it, or you can just, like I did, you just spray it on your face. If you're really busy with stuff and you gotta do something quick, you can just spray on your face really quick. And it has a lot of good things like aloe vera, and which helps calm the face, refresh the face, and helps to heal it. Secondly, I go with this vitamin C serum. It contains 100% natural vitamin C, and also other extracts that helps with reducing the inflammation in the face. And this magic liquid, it fixed my acne spots. It really just made my skin smooth. What it also does, it actually also uplifts the natural tone, and it makes the skin even, one color. It's great. So with this, you just open this up. I'm doing that now. And you kind of take that. It looks like this. You put it on your hands, and after you kind of just spread around the face just like that, and it's great, absorbs it in the skin really quickly. And this will just fix all your acne problems. I'm telling you, it's great. Now, lastly, what I do is I use this moisturizing cream that he also formulated. It has a lot of extracts and oils that kind of just locks everything in and gives moisture to the face. It gives shine, it makes the skin younger. Even though I'm 17, it makes the skin younger. It's ridiculous. And so this is the last thing I use to kind of locks all the product in, and it will last the whole day.
Segment 3. Nomination opens for AC Awards 2021 in Alberta and Ontario. Nominate those making a difference in the community, nonprofit, business, or career here at www.diversitymag.ca/AC Awards 2021. In other Diversity Magazine news, we're now accepting content for the fall edition of Diversity Magazine print. Over 30,000 copies to be distributed in Edmonton, Calgary, across Alberta, Toronto, and cities across Ontario. Text 780-709-0965 for more information. Diversity Magazine's next community engagement in the northern Alberta city of Fort McMurray. The only platform where you can have such an opportunity. Due to those who want to be an authority in their field, share their opinions or passions, now is the time. On August 31st, 2021, after weeks of discussions in Calgary, we're pleased to share the Diversity Magazine print will be partnering with the Angie magazine. While we're expanding Diversity Magazine across Canada, we're equally expanding across cultures, beginning with this partnership to jointly print and distribute content together with the Angie magazine that has done a fantastic job serving the Filipino community. Thank you sincerely for your support. Segment 4. Fashion and Beauty Time on Diversity TV. Some collection of fashion from Africarnival 2021 from Bowie and Kathy Design. Bowie is originally from Botswana and Kathy is from Barbados. They met on a fashion photo shoot just before the pandemic lockdown. They immediately clicked and decided to collaborate and design clothing together. Even during the lockdown, they worked together to make new clothing designs. Take a look at some of their wonderful collections. Before we go to our next segment, a word from our supporters. Segment 5. Meet these two fantastic ladies, Alexandria from RBC and Mona Lisa from Futurepreneur, and a BESP recipient, Shawn, who are going to share good news of BESP, the Black Entrepreneur Startup Program. BESP supports young Black entrepreneurs from 18 to 39 years of age with startup loan financing from $5,000 to $60,000, 2 years mentorship, plus access to resources and networking opportunities with fellow entrepreneurs across Canada. Hear directly from Alexandria, Mona Lisa, and Shawn.
Why support young Black entrepreneurs with this program? The Black Entrepreneur Startup Program, fondly known as BESP, it comes with a whole lot of great benefits. First, capital injection. We all appreciate the importance of capital injection to every business. Secondly, creation of employment. We're not just creating employment directly for that entrepreneur, but we are also creating indirect employment because there is that web designer who is going to design his website. There is that truck driver who will deliver his goods. So there is both direct and indirect employment. And finally, multiculturalism. We foster multiculturalism because with the exchange of cultures, the economy thrives, the economy grows.
If you are a young Black entrepreneur and you're aged between 18 to 39 and you're looking for funding for your business, then you definitely need to check out Futurepreneurs Black Entrepreneur Startup Program funded by RBC. It's an excellent program that has been created to address specific barriers faced by young Black entrepreneurs. Our goal is to truly help you be successful in launching your business. And we also offer you a mentor along the way for 2 years after you receive funding to help you scale and properly grow. So do not hesitate to go on our website to contact us if you need more information. We are there to help you. Thank you.
My name is Shawn Raymond and I'm with Shawn Fire Training. I am here to tell you about the BESP program with Futurepreneur. Not only has this program helped inject capital funding into my business, it has helped me grow my entrepreneurial business far more rapidly than I would have ever been able to think or come to beforehand. This program gives me mentorship that allows me to grow my business for 2 years after the funding has been released. And not only has that support helped me grow, it has also given me the confidence to make the decisions and the choices that I need to make my business as successful as it has been this year.
Segment 6. Coronavirus Project Cool Times. Effective September 3rd, 2021, wearing a mask or face covering will be mandatory in all indoor public spaces in Edmonton, including publicly accessible areas of business, retail shops, and city facilities. Masks continue to be mandatory on transit centers, LRT stations, as well as taxis and vehicles for hire. This bylaw will be in place until December 31st or until active cases drop below 100 per 100,000 for 10 straight days. A list of supports and information that will assist businesses and general public can be found at edmonton.ca/masks. Segment 7. What do we have for Diversity TV International News? Well, China has forbidden youths under 18 years old from playing video games for more than 3 hours a week, as there is a growing addiction in kids. Sources from BBC News. Segment 8. What are we cooking this week for Dish of the Week? Our last stop on this Diversity Magazine community engagement in Calgary is at Ahenki's Kitchen with Veronica Kunbi Olalere to sample some culture delicacies in the backdrop of an exciting TV show coming up in networks on cable and social media. Hear from Veronica Olalere in her own words speaking to Diversity TV.
In order to be a part of our goal, of our mission to nurture harmonies in homes, we put this cooking show together so that families can come and cook. And the very first season is Daddy's Recipe. Amazing. I cannot even say more. And this show is going to be airing very soon on Telus Optic TV, and also it's going to be on YouTube for those that are not in Calgary or in Alberta. So Daddy's Recipe is a dad and a child, or a dad and children coming together to cook any meal. It is not a competition at all. Our goal is so that we can create memories with this family so that these kids can see it. We could influence the next generation.
Segment 9. We have lots of community announcements this week. Diversity Magazine's next community engagement is on the long weekend of September 3rd, 2021 in the northern Alberta city of Fort McMurray. There's election season happening in Canada and Alberta, with federal elections scheduled for September 20th and municipal elections on October 18th, 2021. Why is it important to take part in the elections? Elections affect how much money you earn in a minimum wage job, how many of your brothers and sisters can come to Canada each year, how much support your nonprofit gets financially, and most recently, how much your business can get for loans. It can also affect what happens when someone racially abuses you on the street or when the systemic racism in Canada pokes its ugly head at you. As a matter of fact, every aspect of your life is affected by politicians, and you should be involved in who gets the political jobs. Diversity will be bringing you different politicians vying for positions in the 2 elections to share their visions. If you're in Calgary, you can request your mail-in ballot for the 2021 municipal elections. Ballots will be sent to the address you provided during the week of September 27th once all candidates have been confirmed. To learn if you qualify to receive a mail-in ballot and how to receive one, visit www.calgary.ca/election. Solomon's College Quest program is still accepting applications, which are due September 27th. Solomon's College Quest program is a 3-month training program focused on employment in the warehouse sector. The requirements are a minimum of CLB 3 to 6 in all skill areas. You must be a permanent resident or Canadian citizen not born in Canada. Not previous education in Canada except LINC or ESL. You must not be currently on employment insurance and must have some basic computer skills. We invited a student and instructor to share their experiences and the next intake.
More than 4. Some of them, they are second interviews because they are selecting. So that means I'm getting more and more close to the job. When I say like this, is not for small companies, for big companies like Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, Canadian Tire, all those big companies, they need a lot of warehouse associates. So this training is making us good qualifier for this position. You see, before I don't know how to operate a forklift. Now I know how to operate forklift. That is very good. I got certificate for WMS 2015 and first aid. And most important thing is I learned warehouse management system, which is inventory controlling system. So this certificates makes me a good competitor, and also the voluntary job experience also is giving me good backup.
We're experimenting with the partnership with Habitat, and I see a lot of students, they're showing their leadership skills, their collaboration, and so I think we're building a community here, and I think it's a great experience, and especially if you want to work in warehousing, we'll get you the technological skills and the certification. And the last 4 weeks, we try our best to connect you with employers, and and so we're always trying to improve. So yeah, come join the program, and we'll try and get you connected. We'll try and get you a good job that'll be meaningful and that you'll enjoy. Call the school, Solomon College. Their number is 780-431-1515, or just email at info@solomoncollege.ca. After you've contacted the school, you can also find there on the website, we have a description of all of our employment programs. We have 3 of them. They're all
automated enforcement on streets with a new 40 kilometers per hour speed limit began September 1st, 2021. More information is available at edmonton.ca/safespeeds. Gain great experience and make a meaningful contribution to Calgary. The City of Calgary is looking for diverse Calgarians to volunteer for positions on 18 different boards, commissions, and committees. What does a board, commission, or committee volunteer role involve? A variety of tasks, but mainly to provide guidance and recommendations to City Council on topics related to finance, accessibility, planning, and urban issues, social well-being, and many more. For a list of boards with vacancies and eligibility requirements, visit calgary.ca/boards. The deadline to apply is September 23rd, 2021. From a nanny to a successful immigrant in Canada, Angie shares her immigrant journey with Moji on the Immigrant Experience Show.
26 years ago, I came here in Canada as an immigrant nanny, and I never have thought that this is gonna be the life that I'm gonna have, because there's so many different things, difficulties, struggles. It's not like now the poverty physically, but it's the poverty of the mind.
Award-winning realtor Conrad shares his real estate updates for the month.
Hi, everyone. My name is Harriet Tinker. I'm the host of the Diversity Community Newscast. And if you pay attention to all the newscasts, you know that every month we have Conrad, the realtor, who has updates for us every month to tell us what's happening in the market. So again, in the month of September, we invite him again to give us some updates. Welcome, Conrad. We're excited to have you here. Give us some updates.
Thank you, Harriet. Thank you, Diversity TV. Yes, I'm honored to present the monthly updates on the real estate in Canada and especially Alberta. So this month, we've seen that there has been some, what we call it, some slowdown in price growth. Since the beginning of the year, we've seen price growth in all sectors of the real estate market. But that has kind of slowed down now since June. So we are not seeing as much competitive bidding, multiple offers as before. Many factors account to this. I believe the stress test is one, and also buyer fatigue as people have decided to relax, and also people have decided to take some break, go on vacation, travel. So those are some of the factors that are accounted for the slowdown. So it's still a good time to buy, and especially the price growth slowing down is good for buyers, and for sellers too. It's also a good time to reassess the property and see if it's a good time to sell, which it is. If not, they can also look and see if they are able to take some equity out. If they talk to the broker, they could get some equity out, which can be used to send kids to school, pay off debt, and also use for investment by either buying more properties, investment properties, or maybe investing in business or anything that they can use the money for.
That's great news, especially for a seller who feels, you know, I have this property, I'm not ready to sell, but I have a bit of equity. So those are great tips. Now, some of the questions that my friends and other people that I've talked to have been, we want to buy a house. However, we don't want to buy a brand new house because for whatever reason, maybe they prefer the older houses because they tend to have more land for the backyard and that sort of thing. So if somebody wants to buy an older house, what are the key things they should be looking at or looking for?
So, well, that's a good question. Thank you. And I appreciate questions like that. So for new older houses, it depends on how old is old. And also for older houses, the things that favor older houses are established communities. So if a community is several years old, it has a good school, it has amenities, has access to transportation. I mean, maybe a community is old and very, very low crime level where people live and enjoy. If you want to buy in that community, if that community is 60 years old, you have no option than to buy in that community. Now, when you are buying, what we do is we want to know why you are buying there, what are the things you are looking for in a property. But for the property itself, we go further to confirm things that might have happened to the property, if there has been any renovation in the past or in recent time. And also if you who is buying there, if you plan to remodel or renovate. So we look at all of that. And now older properties were built based on the building codes in the past. So some building codes probably may have to be updated. But the common things we check for will be the age of the property itself. You're going to have to do property inspection for sure, but you want to check the age of the roof, what has been changed in recent time, the age of the water tank, the furnace, and also the usage, the utility, how much energy efficient, how energy efficient is the property. Yes, these are just some of the things you want to look out for. But I believe the main attraction for older properties is the community in which they are. Yeah.
So would you say it's better to buy an older house in the winter time, or would you recommend in the summertime, or is there any criteria that you'd recommend?
It's very difficult to time the market. So for us, it's good to buy either in the winter or in the summer. It doesn't matter actually. You just have to ensure that you buy a property that is functional, a property that will not give you a lot of headaches. Now, some people may argue that buying the winter will let you know how the heating system is working, if it's tired, if there are other issues and all of that, which is fine. But not many people list their property in the winter too. Most people want to sell in the spring. And also because of the type of temperature ranges that we have here, if it happens that in the winter, let's say November, December, January, and we are in the -20, -30, not many people will come out to look at property. So you might not find what you are looking for in the winter. So either season is fine. You just have to be sure of what, and that's why an agency is very important to guide you to know what to look for, what to check out, and what to watch out for, so that you don't spend money buying something that becomes a headache for you.
Oh, that's great. And my other question is, what if I'm the kind of person who all my children are all grown up, they're all gone, and now I'm downsizing? What is the recommendation for that? Downsizing, I don't want this big ginormous house, I want a smaller house. Recommendation?
Well, downsizing also depends on your plans, right? If you want to downsize in the same community, that is perfect. You can downsize to condos, apartment condos, or townhouse condos, or properties. Depends on what depends on the elderly people who do not want to be involved in clearing the lawn or mowing the snow. So apartment units are good for such people. Some who still want to have grandkids come over, even though there are just about one or two living in the unit. So you probably want to look at units that have enough, maybe backyard where you can play, or the kids can play, locations where probably the kids come over over the weekend, probably they can go to the park. Yeah, you just have to look for those. But yeah, downsizing is good. You don't need to spend your life when all the kids are gone, and cleaning, utility costs will be high. And probably if you still have a mortgage, yeah, downsizing can help you reduce your expenditure or expenses on the property.
Wonderful. Now, if anybody out there has a burning question on real estate, you don't know what to do, you're a bit confused, worry not. Conrad here is the to-go-to person. So Conrad, do share how people can get a hold of you, so that if they are ready to buy or sell or have any burning questions, they can come to you.
Yeah, thank you. So my contact details, my phone number is 403-690-0809, 403-690-0809, and my email is conrad@conradagla.ca, conrad@conradagla.ca. For my website, you can reach me at conradaglarealestate.com, conradagla.com, and conradagla.ca. Google, Facebook, Instagram, you can find me there. But as long as you remember Conrad Agla, you'll be able to find me. And the number again, 403-690-0809, 403-690-0809. Any questions you have, I'm available.
Excellent. And if you also have any questions, feel free to send them over to us at Diversity Community Newscast, so that we can pass them on to Conrad. And if you have any questions, you can just let us know, and it can be the topic of the month that we can share with everybody, because sometimes you have a question and everybody's asking the same question. So again, Conrad, thank you so much for your wisdom, your knowledge, and all the information you gave us for this month. We do look forward to seeing you again in the month of October. So everybody, have a great afternoon. Again, thank you, Conrad, once again from Diversity TV.
Thank you. Thank you, Harriet.
You're welcome.
Thank you for watching Diversity TV Community Newscast. Be the first to get our community newscast as it happens. Please subscribe and hit the bell notification on our Diversity TV YouTube channel. We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. Our website is www